this video, we will learn how to change array default values. So here are the steps to manipulate the default values of an array. Create a 1D array shell in the front panel window. Add a digital numeric control to the array shell in the front panel window. Resize the array shell to show at least 6 elements. 3, 4, 5, 6. Set the value of the third element of the array to 1. LabVIEW sets the values for the first 2 elements to 0, which is the initial scalar default for the array. Right click the third element of the array, select data operations and make current value default. From the shortcut menu, to set the scalar default value of the third element to 1, whereas it was originally 0.0. Make sure to click the element itself, not the array index display or the array shell. Set the value of the 6th element of the array to 2. LabVIEW makes the 4th and 5th elements part of the array and sets their values to 1, which we set as the new scalar default for the array in the previous step. LabVIEW does not change the values of the first 2 elements because they were added to the array when the scalar default value was still 0. When we add an element to an array by entering its value, LabVIEW sets the values of the elements between the current end of the array and the element we added to the scalar default. Right click the array index display or the shell border and select data operations. Make current value default. From the shortcut menu, to set the default value for the entire array, LabVIEW sets the current values in each element as the default value for those elements. For example, 2 is now the default value for the 6th element. Right click the first element of the array and select data operations, reinitialize to default value. From the shortcut menu, to change the value of the first element from 0 to 1, which is the scalar default value of the entire array. Right click the array index display or shell border and select data operations, reinitialize to default value from the shortcut menu. Notice that the value of the first element returns to 0, which was the value of its element when we set the default value of the entire array. Note, in practice, we rarely need to change the scalar default. Typically, we set or restore default values for the entire array.